the Mechanist. Be one with the robots. Greetings, fellow makers. I'm Bill, and today I'm going to show you how I made these antennae for my Mechanist helmet. San Diego Comic-Con is just around the corner, and my wife and I are working on some costumes for Fallout 4. I'm going to be the Mechanist. Brittany's going to be an Assaultron. She's got a whole series of videos she's been working on there. We'll link to that down in the description, a whole playlist. Check that out. But today I want to tell you a little bit about how I made these antennae for my foam helmet. This helmet here is something I patterned on my live stream last week. In fact, we've also got a video for that you can go check out. This is a more refined version of that pattern. I took it apart, cleaned it up a whole bunch, and made a really nice finished piece for the helmet. And I also added all of the detail on there. Something I really needed though were these antennae, these weird ear looking things that stick off the side of it. Now, I could have tried to make these out of foam, just like the rest of the helmet, but I wanted to push my skill and try out my new Ultimaker 3D printer. The challenge, of course, is that I wanted to make these antennae able to be removed, mostly so that I can travel with this thing. So I challenged myself to build a mechanism to do that, and I'm gonna tell you how. First, I had to come up with a system to unscrew the antenna parts, and that included figuring out how to model screws and sockets in Fusion 360, and then I did a couple of test prints to figure out how to get the screwing mechanism to work. It took me a couple tries. I'm still pretty new to this sort of thing, but eventually I did get it to work, which was really cool. I then designed and modeled my antenna, printed those out on the super rad new Ultimaker that I've got, and I did the same thing with the screws, but I printed them in different orientations. This way, the screws would print in a good orientation that would make sense, and the antenna are printed the long way so that they were more structurally sound. I don't want to bump into someone and have these things snap right off. When everything looked good and everything fit together properly, I used a little piece of filament and some acetone to weld the antenna part to the screw part. This is my first time doing a technique like this, and it went pretty well. I'm really excited with the possibilities that it entails for future projects. Once all the mechanical bits were ready to go, I could assemble this thing. Before I finish the antennas, I want to send you guys over to punishprops.com to our Foamsmithing page. This helmet here was made out of EVA foam, and that's how I make most of my costumes and a whole lot of my props. If you go on over to our Foamsmithing section on our website, you'll see a whole bunch of foam smithing tutorials and articles and videos that are all completely free, where you can go over there and get started learning how to make this sort of stuff. We've also got our Foamsmith books over there, Foamsmith 1 for armor and costumes, Foamsmith 2 for your prop making needs. They're all over there at punishprops.com. There will be a link down below. Check it out. You can start making stuff out of foam just like this. All right, back to the antenna. The 3D printed pieces came out really, really nice, but I printed them at a lower resolution just so they would print quicker, so they needed a little bit of sanding. So these things got sanded and filled with filler primer and then smoothed out super duper nice. To put them in the helmet, I needed to cut some holes into the actual foam. To cut the holes, I sharpened a piece of brass tubing that I got from the hobby store. It was sharpened with some files to make the edge of it dangerously sharp. Then I could jab it through a piece of foam to create a perfect circular hole. Now these antennae needed to go in at a particular angle, and I wanted that angle to be identical on either side, so I cut a piece of MDF to act as a guide. Then I could just press my sharpened tube through the ear part of my helmet, and I could cut a perfect hole right through at the right angle on both sides. Then I could put the ear antenna part into the hole that I drilled through my helmet part, and lo and behold, the antenna will unscrew, coming apart, leaving the 3D printed socket part in the helmet. Now this whole thing here is going to get finished up with a whole bunch of latex rubber. That's how I prefer to seal my foam armor pieces. I'm going to wait to glue the antenna parts in until I've finished sealing it with all the latex and painting it. And that's coming up in the next couple of days. In fact, I will probably live stream some of that on Tuesday. If you haven't been checking out our live stream, it's over at twitch.tv/punishprops. Head on over there, give us a follow, We go on Tuesdays at noon if you want to follow along in the shop, and we have a live stream Q&A session Thursdays at 5 p.m. Those are all in the Pacific time zone. Hey, thanks for checking out the video this week, you guys. If you enjoy the foamsmithing, if you enjoy the 3D printing, we've got videos for all of those. We've got almost 400 on our channel now, so if you missed any of those, head on over, give those a look, because there's a bunch of really good information over there. I'll tell you what, this is a really fun challenge. I enjoy mixing different types of materials to achieve the exact look that I want. In this case, 3D printed parts with foam helmet pieces. And it came out pretty good, if I don't say so myself. Are you guys working on any cool costume projects? Are you mixing and matching all of your materials, doing some maybe some Worbla and some foam, or doing 3D printed pieces with Worbla? Or maybe you've made your armor out of Sintra and you're adding some Worbla on top of that. Whatever it is you're working on, if you're doing some mixed media projects, I want to hear about it. Let me know about it in the comments down below. Like I said before, we're gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con. It's just a couple of weeks away. These costumes will be done very soon. They have to be done very soon. And we're really excited to see a bunch of you guys there. And you can look out for me and my lovely wife Brittany in our Fallout costumes. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Now, what are you waiting for? Start making! Go!